and welcome to part 3 of episode 2 of Hidden World Podcast. There's still lots of news to cover, but we should be able to cover it all in this part for sure. So moving on, Tekken Tag 2 director wants DLC characters and stages to be free. Like, he compared this kind of like to chess pieces, like how, you basically need all the chess pieces in play to play chess, and so like, he was comparing like the DLC stuff to like a rook or a pawn or something, and you need that stuff just to play a match. So, his philosophy is really good. I really like that. But of course, whether it ultimately will be free is of course a Bandai Namco decision. It's not his. Like, as far as I know, he doesn't have enough power to like make it free for sure. But he's got good intentions, that's for sure. And also, there was also mention of a Fight Lab mode, which is basically the tutorial mode with Combat, which, the last time a Combat has appeared was Tekken 4, so that's interesting that Combat's coming back, and it's going to be kind of different in the sense of a tutorial mode, in the sense that, like, you're supposed to be able to, like, power up the Combat and stuff like that, so, like, there's supposed to be more to the mode than just that, like, theoretically. Of course, I won't know until I play it myself, but theoretically there's going to be more to it than that. And then there's also like a trailer that came out this week that was saying that there's going to be over 50 Tekken characters, and there was over 40 for the arcade, so like that's like a lot of characters are going to be announcing soon enough. So yeah, it's really neat. And then there's also going to be pair play in the game, which is like where multiple people are playing in the tag battle. So like, it can go up to 4 players, like each person controls one person and they swap out, similarly to like how Tekken X Street Fighter Cross Tekken, like similarly to that, like it's gonna be using the same method basically. But yeah, that's it for Tekken Tag 2 news for this week. So next up is Famitsu reports that Guilty Gear XX Accent Core Plus is hitting PSN and Xbox download this summer. This is of course just a Japanese magazine reporting for their Japanese release, but so for US release, like who knows, like there's really no word yet about it at all. But of course it's going to be a Japanese download, so it's not going to be hard to import. Like, all you need is a Japanese PSN account and Japanese money on the PSN, and like, you can get it. Like, just that simple. And at least that's my method of plan. That's what I'm going to be doing this summer. I'm definitely going to be jumping on board with this when it hits PSN. And I'm going to enjoy getting clobbered. I'm going to enjoy getting beaten down. I'm just going to enjoy it all because I basically spent a lot of time on Guilty Gear X2, not Accent Core or Accent Core Plus, so I'm gonna be super rusty. I'm gonna barely know the mechanics, because like it's kind of like the shift from BlazBlue Calamity Trigger to BlazBlue Continuum Shift, where they just changed everything, and then yet again from Continuum Shift to Continuum Shift 2, where they changed everything yet again. So like they changed the mechanics, how things work, how moves work, how you do combos with the character. All that changed from X2 to Accent Core, and then Accent Core Plus just balanced it out. But yeah, either way, I'm still inexperienced with Accent Core, so it is going to be still new for me. So it's going to be a really hard situation for me, where I'm just going to get clobbered majorly. But I'm still going to enjoy it, because like I love Guilty Gear, and I'm really looking forward to picking this up. So yeah, this is a definite purchase. Just give me a date and I'll get it. It's that simple, really. But that's it for Guilty Gear news. So next up is Netunia V will be hitting Japan this summer. And like, just last week I barely announced it. Like, yeah, that's real soon. But basically the story premise is that like Neptune accidentally travels back in time to the 80s, where like Noire, I could never pronounce her name. I always had trouble with it. Noire. That name. However you pronounce it. That name. Like, she travels back into a time where that name still isn't a goddess, and Blanc can't control her temper yet, because, that's like one of their main things. Like, Blanc had an attitude problem, but she could control her temper for the most part, and everyone was a goddess at that point, but that name isn't at this point in time in the 80s, so that's the basic premise story. And Vert's gonna be there as well, so like all 4 original console goddesses, like the Wii goddess, the Neptune goddess, the the PS3 goddess, the Xbox goddess, they're all going to be there as characters yet again. They're all going to be playable. And yeah, there's going to be a limited edition that will have the soundtrack CD, 2 figurines, and an extra CD. I'm not too familiar with it, but it's going to be something else. I haven't seen a trailer for it yet, but like from the screenshots, it looks like it's going to have the same battle system as Part 2, which, you know, that makes me excited. That makes me happy. That it is enough for me to like, yeah, I want it. Like, you know, if I have the money for when it releases, like, yeah, this is totally an instant import. I'm definitely getting that limited edition because all that stuff just, oh god, I'm foaming at the mouth. Like, as long as it keeps the Part 2 system or like improves it or does something similar to it, I'll be happy. That's good enough for me. As long as you don't make the same mistakes you made in Part 1, you got my money, basically. That's how I see it, basically. But yeah, that's it for Netunia V news. So next up is Dragon's Crown is delayed to 2013. It's not going to be published by Ignition anymore. Instead, it's been pushed over to like Atlus. They're going to be publishing it, and they're also going to be running the development as well. And so they're directly going to be involved with the development of how this game is shaped. And my response is, yeah, I'm done. Yeah, my interest is gone, basically. I don't like how Atlus controls things, how they work anymore. Like, just how do I put this? Basically, once Atlus released Demon's Souls, they changed. Atlus changed into something I don't like. They're not the company I used to love and support and would purchase everything they get. Like, they're different. They basically, how do I put this? They basically have a swelled head. They have an ego problem, basically. Just, they basically, I don't like their methods anymore, I should say. Like, there's more to it than that, but just, I don't want to get like too negative here, but just, yeah, I don't like Atlus anymore. I don't like what they do. And like an example I could give, like they were involved with the development of Radiant Historia, and they basically changed an amazing game into Radiant Historia, basically. Because like, if anyone ever read up news on it, like there was one article I read that they mentioned how the developers had to change a couple things because Atlus flat out said, no, don't do that, we want you to do it like this. And so they changed stuff, like, you know, the original main character was just going to be like this object, like this, I think it was going to be a talking sword. You know, they changed that. It was originally going to have a tragic ending. That was the original plan. They had to change that. It was going to originally have like this arcing time travel mechanic where there's like multiple layers to everything. They had to change that. Just, Atlus forced all this onto the developers, you know, that's not what they wanted. That was not the developers' original vision. And so like, just, yeah, the fact that Atlus is involved, like, I guess I can still see what they're gonna do to it, but my hopes aren't that high. Like, I basically expect them to ruin it, and yeah, I'm out, basically. Yeah, I'm not gonna pick this up. Like, that's basically my response. I still will give them the benefit of the doubt until there's more news, but right now, I don't have high expectations for them. That's basically how I feel right now. So, like, you know, my initial reaction is negative, but it might turn positive if they, like, if the next news is something positive, like they're changing something good, you know, they're adding something good, you know, something like that. If that does get announced, then okay, then I'll still be on board, I'll still pick it up. Just, my expectations aren't high because it's Atlus and they've changed, basically. But that's actually it for news. Like, I'm done with the news now, and so now I'm actually gonna move on to like stuff that I've been working on for my YouTube channel, like last week. Basically, this week I released some more Sonic Generations Let's Play videos and runs as well, and so I'm working on more of them, on both the Let's Play and the runs. Like, I've gotten yet again another wave of Sonic Generation request runs, so I'm gonna be working on that. So hopefully I can, it depends on how many more I receive, but hopefully by next week, by next recording, I'll have them all done. It's just, I can't guarantee that because, you know, if I get another wave of requests, then, you know, what can I do except I have to put it off until I get them all done. And as for Let's Plays, you know, of course that's still going on. I'm still working on that. You know, that's going at a steady pace. And there's another game I wanted to mention on what I've been playing, but I was going to put it off until this segment right here because it fits better here. So, because this week I've also been playing Dead Space, and I finally finished it. I was doing a blind Let's Play of it, and it's done now. I finally finished it. And so that basically means I have a full 5 months to edit until it comes to October, like 5 months and a couple of days, basically. So, yeah, I'm basically confident that I can finish all the editing, because it's like, I believe the final count was 39 parts. But I think I can get that all done and wrapped up, and have enough time to make a trailer, because that's something I've been wanting to work on with my Let's Plays for a while now, and Dead Space might be the first one that I do it with. Like, as long as I have the time before October, I'll definitely be making a trailer for it, because basically I've been considering making it a trailer or like an episode 0, but I decided against it because I have a different vision for an episode 0. Like, an episode 0 is something more like I would have to like go into like backstory of a game or something. Like, an example would be like Jak 2, because I want to Let's Play Jak 2 and Jak 3, but I don't want to Let's Play Jak 1 because I don't like it enough to want to Let's Play it, so I don't want to do that. So basically, whenever I do Jak 2, I'm gonna have a Jak 2 episode 0. Like, you know, Let's Play Jak 2 episode 0. That's gonna be basically the title. And so that's gonna be where I explain everything you need to know about Jak 1, so that you don't really need to see me play it, so that you can understand what's going on between, you know, Jak 1 to Jak 2, and then also Jak 1 to Jak 2 and then to Jak 3 as well. So, like, you know, I want to explain that so that you have episode 0 will have that covered, so I don't have to actually play through the whole game, because Jak 1's not really my favorite from the series. So yeah, that's why I'm gonna do 0. And so instead, Dead Space, instead of being Dead Space 0 episode 0, it's gonna be a Dead Space trailer, because basically trailer's gonna be just that, a trailer. It's gonna advertise what I'm doing. It's gonna advertise what I'm planning, like giving a tone for the Let's Play of what it's how it's gonna be. And so, like, I'm gonna try and make it fearful, like that's my goal. Of course, it'll be first time doing it, so it's probably gonna be a horrible failure, but I want to try it, so we'll see how that goes, because, yeah, hopefully I can pull it off. I'm not entirely sure, though, so we'll see. That's all I can really say, like, we'll see. Like, I've already like done some recording of it, but I actually want to add a little bit atmosphere to the trailer itself. Like, I want to add extra recordings. Like, I want to add like an extra layer of audio where like I'm like whispering little things, like, you know, scary stuff, like to set the mood, like, you know, run away, we're all gonna die, or something like that. Like, you know, something scary, like make it really at a low whisper, you know, put it in the background, so like, you know, if you're looking out for it, you can hear it, but otherwise you can't. Like that, I want to set a good atmosphere for the trailer, and so that's my goal with it. And it's gonna be a really big experimentation. We'll see how that goes. I don't know how it's gonna work out, but we'll see. Basically, like, again, I have to say it. We'll see. It's gonna be one crazy experiment. So, yeah, it's gonna be interesting, basically. But yeah, it's gonna be the end for this part, so stick around for part 4, and that'll be the final part. So yeah, see ya in part 4.